Today we're doing warm up 55. So let's start first with an ellipse. I'm going to go right here. We're going to actually, this is going to be a pot for a plant. So let's do a double ellipse. Let's put another one inside. And then we're going to go vertically, vertically, curve. This will be the top band to our pot. We're going to come in from this edge and angle down a little bit, angle in, come in from this edge, angle down, and curve across here. So this curve. Okay, now inside. So let's do this while we're here. Let's anchor this thing to the ground. And then let's give this a little bit of shading. So we're going to curve here, curve on this edge, and then here, darker, fading. Now we're going to give a little bit of value just to under here, because that's it, there is some overhang there. And then we're going to do the same here. We're going to, we're going to curve. Right here, curving in. A little bit darker on this edge. Fading as we come across. Alright, so now let's start putting our plant in here. We're going to come up from this baseline, and we're going to, once we hit this back edge, we're going to hit at a Y. I'm going to come here. I'm going to come up. So this is the thickness of the inner part of our like bonsai tree or shrub. And this is going to sit on top. Anything it's sitting on top of has to go. Okay, so I'm going to erase. Now, we don't want this to end up being perfectly symmetrical. That's probably the biggest concern with when we draw plants. We're going to let this one split here. Okay. And then on this side, we're going to let this go further this way. Here, we're going to let it split. So we'll have a Y branch here. Come up with a smaller little branch right here. And then we're going to do one more branch that's going to come somewhere right in here, something like that. And then from each of these, we're going to do just a really light, because we're going to alter these, puff like of where there'd be greens and shrubbery, like off the end of those branches. So this is where we have dense leaves. Okay, so I'm just mapping out kind of where I want that to go. And then I'm going to come on here and I'm going to do shading on the ones that are sitting in front. So I'm going to do these first, and I'm going to sort of like round and puff the edges so I don't have any straight edges. So here, again, putting this in here, giving some texture. I'm going to heavy texture on this left side more, since our light source is above, like it's over here. So I'm heavier texturing on the bottoms. Here where they meet. And I'm gonna make sure I get rid of that straight line that's up there. I'm going to give a little bit of texture also on this inside. I don't want it to be totally void of texture. I'm going to allow here where the branches are sitting underneath for them to be a little bit darker as they're coming out from under those. I'm going to shade on this side here and on the base to give it some roundness. so it doesn't look so stiff and straight. All right, so I'm going to now come on the inside of this pot. So I have my top band. Here's the interior of my pot. This is where my soil would be. So I'm going to shade this darker in here. And then on this interior edge right here, this would be darker, just based on where the light would be. And I'm going to give this a cast shadow here. And there we go. Maybe a little bit right here on some overhang of the pot. That is 55.